Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mordzs, and quickly before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. On the way to 1,000 subscribers. But today, we're going to have a reality check. There's the reason why I'm wearing all black right now. Yeah, I feel like someone's died. Like, it's a sad day. It's a sad day. It's the morning after Manchester United have been beaten 3-0 at home to Tottenham Hotspur. Now, there's actually a lot to talk about. There's a few things that I want to go over, but I mean, look, let's just keep it real. He's got to go. He's got to go. Ten Hag has to go, and that's where I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I was wrong. I was wrong. I've spent the last year and a bit, or since the start of last season, defending this guy. I spent such a long time defending this guy. And I'll be honest, the reason why is because I felt like it was a bit of a cop-out to just say Ten Hag out so early on to last season. It felt like an easy thing to do. It was like, oh, if you say Ten Hag out, then if we win, it's a good thing. It's like, yeah, well, I'm a United fan, so I'm happy. And if we lose, it's like, oh, well, look, I was right. Ten Hag's bad. So it just felt like an easy thing to say Ten Hag out. So that's why I was so optimistic. I was so like on his side. I bought into the excuses that he gave every single week, because I just thought there has to be something good in this. It can't be that bad. And as a United fan, someone who's obviously, I've seen us have, 5 managers over the past 11 years. I'm tired of the same cycle. You know, I thought Van Gaal was going to be the right guy back in 2014. Moyes, well, I didn't know about Moyes, I'll be honest. That was more of a question. That was more of a question mark, because that was just a sad moment in general, you know, seeing Fergie leave. But I mean, after Van Gaal, he was Mourinho. I thought Mourinho was the right guy. Turns out he wasn't. I thought Rangnick would come in and do something different. I thought Rangnick would come and bring what we thought Ten Hag was supposed to bring, because they had that. Is he Dutch? I think he's Dutch anyway. But they had that connection, that same philosophy. He obviously wasn't the right guy. Ollie came in. I thought Ollie was the right guy. You know, well, eventually anyway. When he beat PSG and Ferdinand was doing the contract on the table, and I thought, Ollie has to be that's the exciting football. We're scoring 4 goals a game, 5 goals in a game. Come on, Ollie has to be the right guy. He wasn't. And then before Ten Hag came in, it was like, well, we've got this new manager who he's obviously been successful in Ajax. It's a pretty big club, and they're known for the right things as well. It's not like it's City where they're just known for buying players and just spending a lot of money. Ajax are known for the development of youth players, young players. They're obviously dominant in the league. They've not won as of recent years, they've not won the Champions League. I know they won it in the 90s, I think. They won it in the 90s, but obviously in recent years, they've not won the Champions League, but they've done well under Ten Hag. So I thought, you know what? Yeah, Ten Hag, he must be the right guy for the job. We need somebody to come in and just bring a certain state of mentality, a different mindset to the club. And that's why I was excited for Ten Hag to come in. And that's why I gave him so much, like I said, so much leeway. I bought into the excuses. I bought into the injuries. I bought into the players not being good enough. I bought into the change of ownerships. I bought into the off-field antics with, you know, Sancho had his off-field antics, Ronaldo had his problems, Greenwood, Anthony, all these players had their off-field problems. And I thought, you know what, it's not fair for Ten Hag for everyone to just pile on him and say, yeah, he's not good enough, look what he's having to deal with. And now it's like, none of those things matter anymore. None of those things matter. Everything is in his favour, and we're still just as bad as we've ever been. And look, the reality is, he tries to do this whole thing of, oh yeah, but I've won trophies. I'm a serial winner. I win trophies every year. Look, David Moyes could have won a trophy if we kept him for 3 years. Yeah, Ollie was 1 penalty save away from winning a bigger trophy than you've won at United. Winning a trophy, especially, winning a Premier League, winning a Champions League, fair enough. You know what? If you win those trophies, that's genuinely all we want as fans. We just want the big trophies, because that's literally what we watch football for. Mainly the Premier League, in fact, in my opinion, because to win the Premier League, you have to win a lot of games. And if we're just going for law of averages, I'd rather be happy for 25 to 30 games in a season in the Premier League and eventually win the Premier League, then be happy. Well, how many games you have to win the FA Cup? Not a lot, let's be honest. Even the Champions League, yeah, I'll still be as happy winning the Champions League, obviously, but it's just nowhere near as many games as you have to win, or you have to win the Premier League. But he's won the FA Cup, he's won a Carabao Cup, he's won trophies that we've seen Wigan win when they got relegated. We've seen Leicester win and get relegated a few years later. They're not trophies that, yes, at the moment we might be happy, but they're nothing to sing about. They're not trophies that prove that you're a top manager at all. So look, for me, Ten Hag, he's just way out of his depth. Yeah, and I've like I said, I can hold my hands up and say I was wrong. He's way out of his depth, and it's normal for it's actually not a bad thing for him. Like for Ten Hag, it's not a bad thing for him to be out of his depth, because not every manager can leave a club, a smaller club like Ajax, and come to the biggest club in the country, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and be able to just replicate everything you've done over there into this new environment. There's some players that, look at Werner. Yeah, Werner left, was it Leipzig or Salzburg? I always get those two teams confused. But he left Germany. And, when he left, I think he scored 28 goals that season that he left. Came to Chelsea, struggled. Even though he had all the attributes, he had the statistics, everything that was needed for him to perform well in that Chelsea team. He came over and it was just a bigger club, different environment, different league, different expectations, and it didn't work. And it's fine, because he went back and he's continued to score more goals. So look, it's fine. It's okay for players to understand that this is the environment that you're doing well in. This is just a bit too much for you. This is too big of a job. And that's the problem with Ten Hag. I don't think he realised it, or maybe he has realised, but it's got to the point where everybody else has realised this is too big for him. This isn't the job for him. We're way past the point of I can't see any return from this. I can't see things just changing and switching around from this point. He can't even see this isn't his team. I should have known there was a problem when Ten Hag brought his whole team from Ajax to United. We literally playing with an Ajax team. Like an Ajax team that won, yes, they won the Eredivisie, but they didn't win the Champions League. They weren't like this crazy team that was just running through everyone year in, year out in the Champions League. This is literally his team. He's brought his own players. I've never seen a manager be super successful. And when I say super successful, I'm talking about, constantly challenging for big trophies every single year. And all they've bought is players from their last team. This is the first and only time I've ever seen it. And I should have known straight away, like, why is he keep on bringing his old players? Does he not, is there nobody else that he can think of? Is there no other players that are good enough in the world? Is there no other players that are good enough in the world for Ten Hag to look at and think, I want him in my team? It's like he's forcing, you know what it is? It's like he only knows what he's done. That's the problem with Ten Hag. He only knows how to do what he's already done. He can't come to United or a club like United, this level, this size of United, and create something new. He's just thinking, okay, this worked at Ajax, so it has to work over here. That's not how football works. That's not how football works. I know I'm ranting and I'm whatever, but like yesterday I was emotional. I was at the game yesterday, and look, I think I left at the third goal. The third goal was around the 80th minute, around that time. And as soon as it went in, I said, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. I'm numb as a United fan now. I've never left a game that early in my life. Ever in my life. I've been to quite a few games. I've never left a game that early. That was a point for me where I said, you know what? My inner United spirit is dying. It's not dead. It's not dead, because next week I'm still going to be excited to go and watch the Villa game or the Porto game, but it's dying. It's dying, and that's a problem. That is a problem, because I think it was Lias. Yeah, shout out Lias. I think he said the same thing on one of his videos, that he's numb to the pain now. He's numb to that this pain of being a United fan and losing. He's experienced losing so much now as a United fan. It doesn't mean as much as it used to. Before, it was like, bro, United just lost 3-0 to Tottenham. That's my whole week finished. My whole week done. Now, I'm like, I don't expect it, but I'm carrying on my day as normal. I just forget. After I've done this video, I might have to do some other content around it, but I'm actually finished. I'm done. I'm gonna carry on my life. I'm waiting till the NBA season to start. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about LeBron and the Lakers and Kat and Anthony Edwards. That's what I'm thinking about now, because the football to me is it's just not what it's not what it used to be. It's not as fun as it used to be. It's sad to say, but as a United fan, that enjoyment for my club, that enjoyment for watching my team every week, it's slowly dying. It's slowly dying. And I remember I spoke to one of my friends about this the other day, about what do we hate the most about football right now. Right now, what do we hate the most about football? And I said, the one thing that I hate the most is the fact that as a United fan, especially as a United fan, I'm sure other fans probably feel the same thing, but especially as a United fan, the enjoyment of the art of football, the art of the sport of football is dead. It's dead. We don't, as United fans, we don't enjoy football anymore. We don't even talk about football anymore. Half of the conversations as a United fan is about ownership, business, percentages, money, directors, and all these kind of people that have nothing to do with the actual sport of football. When I was a kid, I started watching football around the mid/late 2000s. And, you know, I fell in love with the sport because of players like Rooney, Ronaldo, and even other teams like Drogba, Kaká, all these players who, they might not have even been United players, but they just made me enjoy football. And every single day, the conversation would be about players. It would be about the sport of football. This guy just did this goal. Did you see the goal that he scored in the weekend? Did you see the game this weekend? Or that was such a close game? Or did you see? It was about the actual sport of football. And obviously most of the time United was winning, so it was fun to talk about football every week, because we would have got the win and I'd go into school and I'd be excited to talk about football with my friends. Now, the conversation with United isn't even about football anymore. Now we're talking about James Wilcox and Dave Brailsford, or whatever his name is, and Dan Ashworth and Jim, what's his name? Jim, whatever his name is, man. And all these other guys who have nothing to do with football. These are just owners. I feel like I spent the last year of my life just talking about owners and head of recruitments and all of these people who have nothing to do with the actual sport of football. And what makes it even worse is when I do get to talk about football, we're losing. We're losing. The love and that love and desire to talk about the game of football is slowly just dying every single week. And this week was just, it was just another nail in the coffin. I'm sure there's another 5, 10, 15, 20 nails that are going to go in this coffin, but it was just another one. And that's the thing that I hate the most about football. Just the fact that it's not that fun, that enjoyment of watching a player do something crazy on the pitch and being excited to even go and replicate it when I'm going to play football next week, or to go and speak to my friends about what a crazy game that was. That's dead. And, you know, even just talking about United as well, like, I can't remember the last time United went toe-to-toe with a top team, like a good team, and both teams have played well and United have got the win. Somebody please let me know when the last time that happened, because I feel like every time United win, it's either against a dead team or it's a lucky win, and we probably played dead, but we somehow just got the win. I don't remember the time where we genuinely went toe-to-toe with another team that played well. Both teams played very well, and we just got the win out of it. Even when we played City or when we played Liverpool, both of those teams were not at their peak. If we played City at their peak, their true peak, and we wouldn't have won. We wouldn't have won. Even in the Community Shield, I think City didn't even have De Bruyne on the pitch. I don't think they had Foden on the pitch. I don't think they had Rodri on the pitch. Even when we played Liverpool weren't at their true peak. I can't remember the last time we genuinely played a team, and we've both gone toe to toe. It's been an exciting game, like a true exciting game. Both teams are playing really good football, and United have won. That's the point where we're at. Because the reality is, if we do play a team that's playing very, very well, we lose. That's just it, we lose. And it's happened so many times. We've lost, beat by Bournemouth, beat by Crystal Palace, beat by Nottingham Forest. We've been beat by Copenhagen. We've been beat by all these mediocre, let me not say mediocre teams, because some of these teams are actually playing good football. Yeah, so let me not disrespect them. But teams that you say, as a United fan, we should be winning these games. That phrase there is the most annoying phrase ever now. Like, that phrase is just the most untrue phrase I've ever heard. We should be beating them with United. What does that even mean anymore? Like, what does that mean? Actually ask yourself, what does that mean now? As United, we should be winning this game. What does that mean? Because as United, we don't win. As United, we lose every single game. There's no such thing as, United should be winning that game. They're Manchester United. I'm tired of hearing that phrase now. I've been hearing that phrase for the past 11 years. Now we're not that guy no more. We're actually not that guy no more. There's no reason for anyone to ever say again, as United, we should be winning that game. No, as United, we're gonna struggle. As United, it's gonna be difficult. We're gonna make it hard for ourselves. As United, we don't have to play football. As United, we're gonna complain that the fan base is gonna be toxic. Everyone's gonna get onto each player and they're gonna get onto the manager. As United, we're not gonna win. That's what as United means now. Because there has to get to a point where, look, yes, we've been successful for a very, very long time. Yeah, we're still the most successful Premier League team. That's still facts, and nobody can take that away from us. But it has to get to a point now where that's not us anymore. It has to get to a point where that's not us anymore. It's the same way how a team like Ipswich, yeah, who came from, I don't even know where they came from, League 2 or League 1, or they came from obviously a much lower league. No one's going to say that, but Ipswich are dead. If a championship team play Ipswich, they can't say, but it's just Ipswich. It's just Ipswich. Ipswich, they used to be in League 1. Who were they? We should be beating them. No, Ipswich are in the Premier League now. You can't say, it's just Ipswich. No, because it's a different team now. It's a different club. They've got different expectations. It's different, say manager, but it's a different group of players. It's a different environment. It's a different mentality. It's the same for United now. You can't keep saying, as United, we should be winning. No, it's a different club now. We haven't got Fergie in the team. We haven't got captains like Roy Keane or Rooney or Ferdinand or Vidic or Van der Sar, and we haven't got these players in the team now. It's not the same players, not the same culture at the club. You know, we might have the same dressing room, we might have the same training ground. It's not the same club. We genuinely have to look at this club now and think, what is United right now? What is Manchester United? Because I'm struggling. I'm at the point right now where genuinely I'm struggling to answer that question. I don't know. I don't know. My genuinely this weekend has just killed off all of my optimism. It's killed off all of my emotions to this club. Genuinely, like I know I've been on a rant this video, but I've not even really spoke about the game. But this is just the reality of being a United fan right now. It's just the reality. And to be fair, look, I actually applaud, and I wish I was one of those United fans who came to this point a very long time ago, because by now all those United fans have they've been through this. They went through this back at the start of the season, last season, when we were getting thumped up by Brentford. They went through this time ago. I'm only just going through this now because I tried to be that guy and be, and just hope for the best. But now, yeah, I'm with everybody else now. I'm with the Ten Hag outers. I'm with United are just dead. I'm at that point. So look, let me talk about the game a little bit. Yeah, Spurs, well done. Spurs, well done, Spurs, because we made you looked like prime Barcelona, prime Galacticos, prime AC Milan under Ancelotti, prime Real Madrid under Zidane. We made you guys look like the best team in the league. You guys were popping it around us like it was nothing. And yeah, and you know what? I'm not even trying to take any credit away from you, because I'll take any credit away from Ange, because look, before the game, obviously I did a bit of content for, I did it for United Stand, but I made a video as well, which didn't actually come out. I should have dropped that video, but I did a video which was, it was my preview to the game, and I couldn't get it out in time, so I didn't end up dropping it. But I spoke about the pressure of the two managers, Ange and Ten Hag, and who has more pressure. And I made the point that Ange has no pressure as Spurs manager, because Ange Postecoglou is the best thing to happen to Spurs since Harry Kane. Genuinely the best thing to happen to, in fact, he might be the second best thing to happen to Spurs in Premier League history, honestly, because he's given Spurs an identity. He's given Spurs a personality. Spurs, to me and to a lot of fans, were just this plain, blanket, boring club that they're just going to finish. Wherever they finish in the league, nobody cares. Like, nobody actually remembers where Spurs even finish half of the time, because it's like, whether it's top 4, top 6, top 8, it's Spurs. Who genuinely cares? But Ange came in and he gave you guys a reason to want to be at the top again. He gave you guys a bit of hope, a bit of a lifeline. He gave you guys something to look forward to every single week. So there's no pressure on Ange at all. He's giving you an identity of how you play football, and anyone who doesn't know that identity, just go and watch the United game again. Just go and watch that United game again, and you will see that identity very clear, loud and clear. Something that United fans, we've been dying to see, that identity, that style of play, that style of football that we brought Ten Hag in for, and showed it perfectly against United. Tactically, he outclassed Ten Hag differently. It was embarrassing. Ten Hag played that game like it was FIFA. Ten Hag played that game thinking, oh, well, on Twitter, everyone keeps saying that Ange and Tottenham play a high line. So, I mean, a high line means that surely if I play faster players, then we should be able to get past that high line and score goals. This ain't FIFA. This ain't FC 25. That's not how football works. You think Ange didn't think about that before the game? You think Ange didn't think, oh, United have Rashford and Garnacho, he's probably going to play those two players in the game and maybe bring on a Højlund because he's fast as well. Maybe I should do something about it to make sure we don't get counted on every single 5 minutes. Obviously, he's going to do that. Obviously, we couldn't get anywhere. Rashford had a couple chances where he got in behind. I think Onana played a ball in behind early on in the game, and Rashford, I think he either missed or it was a save. But other than that, that ball in behind meant nothing. They have the fastest player on the pitch. They have the fastest player on the pitch in defence. Where is Garnacho going to run to? Where is he running to? Where's Rashford running to? He's not running anywhere. There's no such thing as getting in behind when it's a one-on-one race with the fastest player on the pitch. And that fastest player on the pitch ran through our team. he ran right through our team to set up the first goal. Ten Hag got it was an absolute masterclass from Ange. I don't think Spurs have had a better performance ever. I don't think they've had. I'm talking about under Ange. I don't think they've had a better performance ever under Ange, other than that game against United. It was a different class. It looked like we were a Championship team or a League One team coming up against a Premier League team. Everything about what they were doing was better. Their passing was better. Their first touch was better. Their off-the-ball runs was better. Their wingers were more direct. The defenders were stronger. The goalkeeper was better. Everything was better about Spurs yesterday for me anyway, compared to United. And look, I don't even want to get onto the players too much, because really I could talk about every single player on that pitch. The craziest thing is Onana's probably our best player for the whole game, and he conceded 3 goals. And to be fair, those 3 goals, maybe he could have done better, but I don't even want to talk about Onana, because it's like the whole team was bad. Dalot was bad. The worst Dalot game I've seen in my life. The worst De Ligt game I've seen in my life. Forget under United top. His worst game he's ever had in his life. Martinez, poor game. Mazraoui, look, there was times that he tried to get back and he tried to recover, but he was getting absolutely skinned alive. It was his worst game under United top. Mainly, I felt sorry for Mainu because I don't think he had a terrible game until he came off. He had a bit of a knock, so he had to come off, and he came off at the worst time as well because Bruno just got the red card at the same time. So it was like I think at some point we had 9 players on the pitch. So that was, I can't really say much about Mainu. Ugarte, poor game. In fact, Ugarte, I'm gonna have to do another conversation about Ugarte. Yeah, because maybe it's a bit too early to have the conversation, but we need to talk about him. Yeah, we need to talk about Ugarte because I said it before he came. Everyone who thinks Ugarte is gonna come into this team and the whole midfield is gonna change because Ugarte's in the team. You don't know football. One, tactically, we're just inept for Ugarte to even make a difference, and secondly, he's just not that guy. Like he's not Rodri, he's not Declan Rice, he's not I don't know other DMs in the league. He's not that guy. Like he's not a player that's gonna come in and change the team because of how good he is. He's not £100 million player. Facts of the matter is he's just not that guy. So the pressure on Ugarte to just come in and do bits. I remember just saying that, why do people think Ugarte coming in this team is going to make a big difference? We could have played Eriksen yesterday from the start and it would have made no difference to that team. Ugarte got absolutely skinned alive in that first goal. Look, I'm not getting to Ugarte too much, because I'm going to talk about him in a separate video. But let's talk about Bruno Fernandes. Now, to be fair, though, I probably should make a separate video about Bruno because this video's been long already, but yeah, I'm losing all faith in Bruno. I feel like because my red tinted glasses are off, I've dashed them. They're down there, and I don't know where they are. They're down there somewhere. I'm looking at players a lot differently now. I'm looking at all these players very, very differently. And as much as I love the club, my love for United, don't get it twisted, it's still the same. Man still loves United more than anything. Yeah, genuinely anything. But I'm putting that to the side, and I'm looking at everything from a neutral. In fact, I'm looking at it from a non-fan, a basketball fan's perspective. That's what I'm looking at United now as. And Bruno Fernandes, bloody hell. Like, bloody hell, Bruno Fernandes. You couldn't have had a worse game. You couldn't have had a worse start to the season. We're looking at a player. This might be one of the biggest fall-offs we've seen as a United player. For somebody to come into the club, for him to break records set by some of the greatest midfielders the Premier League's ever seen, for him to genuinely dig us out of a hole the first 2 seasons. I think that first year that Bruno came, 2020, we got the most points out of every Premier League team. In 2020, go and look it up. We had the most points out of every Premier League team. Bearing in mind, before Bruno came in 2019, we were terrible. The team completely changed. To go from that to what it is now is one of the biggest fall-offs I've seen from a football player ever. It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. We're 2024 now. Yeah, we're coming up to the end of 2024. He came at the start of 2020. We're seeing a player who genuinely, I don't know if he would get into any other big team. Like, I don't think he would get into any other big team. He wouldn't get into City. De Bruyne is there, Foden's there, Bernardo Silva's there. He wouldn't get into City. He wouldn't get into Arsenal. He's not getting into that team over Odegaard. He wouldn't get into Spurs. I don't think he'd get in there over Maddison right now. He wouldn't get into Chelsea. He's definitely not getting there over Cole Palmer. And that's just the Premier League. You don't even want to talk about other leagues right now. Yeah, because he's not getting to Bayern. Yeah, they've got Musiala. They've got big midfielders in that team. He's definitely getting to Real Madrid. Let's not even have that conversation. You know, he's not getting any. What's the other big city? I feel like I forgot. Liverpool. I forgot about that team. Liverpool. He's not getting to Liverpool. Right now, Gravenberch is obviously playing as a 6, but who else is there? McAllister, Szoboszlai. I don't think he's getting into that team either. Genuinely don't think he's getting into that team. We're looking at a player who, like I said before, this might be one of the biggest fall-offs I've seen from a player in a very long time. And the problem with Bruno is, when he's playing bad, he feels like if I just run, people will just forget how bad I am. No, we will not. We're not forgetting. Our eyes are not going to close because you're running a lot. We know you like to run. Now, we get it. You're made of steel. You can run for 90 minutes every single game. We get it. That's not going to make us forget the terrible passage you've been playing all game, the poor piece of control. You have no tech. You have no tech. Bruno Fernandes, you have no tech. Look, actually, you know what, yeah. This video's been a long video. I'm going to make a separate video about Bruno. In fact, if you want to see that video, leave a like and comment. Comment right now, make the Bruno Fernandes video. Because I'm gonna dive deep into this Bruno Fernandes saga that's been going on. I'm going to give my true, honest opinion about Bruno Fernandes. The rest of the players, we'll talk about them another time. But look, United, this is what you've done to me, man. This is what you've done to me, United. Look, thank you guys for watching. Ten Hag has to go. I'm Ten Hag out firmly from now on. And it's not a disrespect, Ten Hag out. I know there are a lot of people who, they're not Ten Hag out. They're more, they just want to disrespect Ten Hag. They just don't like him as a person. I'm not one of those people. Like, I'm not. It's never anything personal with any players. I'm not one of those guys who are just like out here disrespecting, calling them crazy names or whatever. No, I'm not one of those people. I just think from a footballing perspective, he's just not good enough. That's just a reality. So I'm a firm Ten Hag outer. United, something needs to change, man. Something needs to change, Manchester United. But look, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.